rush is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. First down and much more for Henry.
40 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ballgame.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only they're controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
A first down carry for Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Henry. Breaks a tackle, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Now Wentz. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and I used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
2nd and 6. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, this defense for the Colts, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Tannehill now to throw. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, Henry. And he's taken down inside the 30.
93 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. Oh, some strong running. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. A try here for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Colts, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Let's take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz going to throw.
Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
With the score, Titans 14, Colts 0.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Running from the gun with Henry. Sheds off the tackle. Fights through and now a crease. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 154 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And the Titans first down.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. Now a 2nd down and 6. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Derrick Henry on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0.
21, Colts 0.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor. Well, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. 1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, it's Wentz. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Wentz on the drop-off to Taylor.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 38-yard line.
Now Wentz.
He'll drop this down to Taylor.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big play there on the catch and run.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Wentz going to give this to Taylor.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor.
His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Colts are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead will be cut down to 14.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
At the 28-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Tannehill. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
To the right side, this is Taylor. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Again, it's Taylor. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On second down, it's Taylor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Second down at 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A gain of 3, second down. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On second and 7, Wentz. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. James Washington, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point by Blankenship. It's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Again, it's Henry. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. To throw is Tannehill. It's complete. This is Derrick Henry. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them, because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
On first down, Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, 28 yards. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. He finds Taylor, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he is going to get this close to the first down markers. He's brought down at the Titans' 44.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hey, watch that. Great 15. Great 15. 54. Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Here we go. At 20.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. On now is the Titans punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Meanwhile, Wentz's throw taken in by Watkins here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for Indy.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And this throw complete to Washington. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Doug Costin, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. There he goes, right side. The 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this fourth quarter. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On second down now, it's Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. And he will finally be taken down at the Titans' 16-yard line. A big play there for Indy. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run with Taylor. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Go. Hey! Right there. 56. Right there, baby. Watch the run. 40, 82, 40. 56.
Wentz now to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Harris Campbell. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. So up comes Wentz as he and the guys on offense here will go for 2. Wentz going to look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part.